what to talk about if you feel you're nobody, or you know body, or you're no thing. That's what I'm feeling today. I feel small, but not in the sense that I feel small and insignificant and I'm insecure, not that. But I feel from the human perspective, ego perspective, there's nothing today. So my mind wants this video to be useful for you. My mind wants to, I can't record when I have nothing useful to share, even if it's just my experience. There's always in the back of my mind, it needs to be useful. People need to get something out of it. Why would they watch in the first place? So I almost cancelled today. And then I thought, well, this is what it is. Let's see how that resonates. And if not, that's fine as well. So I woke up this morning feeling like nothing. Let me see if I can explain it. A big emptiness, a big desert. It's not the same as a void. I don't know why, but it feels different as a void. It is a state where I'm not between two things. Oh, that's what it is. I'm tapping in on higher wisdom. It's not the space, what I call the void, you probably as well, but where I've been doing and achieving things and doing 3D life. Shifting to another way of operating, another way of being. And the part in between feels very much as a void, like nakedness, not knowing where I am, what I'm doing. I have passed that, and maybe I would come back to it. I mean, I don't know, I'm just discovering all these things, but I have gone beyond that point. And some weeks, it's all recent, right? There's a lot of energy bursting, wanting to burst into creativity that wants to it's like, yeah, I'm hesitating. It's because it's really my higher self. It's my soul. It's my essence that wants to burst in my life. And all I do is getting out of the way and allowing that. I don't know why today, but somehow today I woke up as feeling nobody. And I'm then sitting on that chair thinking, okay, what wants to allow to come through me today? And just at this moment, that is nothing. So me, the ego, the Alice, the human Alice, doesn't feel like a thing today. Doesn't feel like a body today. It is an empty, fast, empty space. And I don't know why that doesn't feel like the void. It just feels different. And I hope from here there will be creativity coming through again. What I've noticed, you might notice that as well. Something wants to burst through me, and I'm going with it. I got the inspiration and enthusiasm, and I start to create things. I'm just starting to create. I will put it out next week. I'm starting to create a new group. A group, I don't know if I need to talk about it too much. I first want to talk about the mechanics behind it, what's happening now, and probably get an answer of why I'm here, where I'm here today. Because many of you might be in such a space that you feel like, I don't know who I am today. And it's not like I'm nobody because I'm insecure. I don't know who I am and what I'm doing. Yes, a bit, but from a space of being absolute in peace with myself. I think that's the difference. Not the one that is looking, that is trying to find, that's trying to become something and all that. It's from a space of, it's fine where this is. Whatever needs to be, I'm okay with it. It's all right. I liked something I heard this morning that was saying the ego is always operating from self-interest. Or how I like to call it, it's always there to help you to survive. It is not thinking if that's, and I'm not sure if I agree with that perspective, but it fits so beautiful with what's happening today. Self-interest. So the ego wants you to stay alive, and it doesn't matter how, if you suffer or not, as long as you stay alive. So it repeats a lot of old stuff because that kept you to where you are today, alive. The state of you that you're in, it doesn't really matter. So from the perspective of, okay, you can say it has a self-interest. But then, yeah, now I say it, and I don't know if I really agree, but let's stay with it. Self-interest. And then if the self-interest, the interest in self, this human, then start to disappear, like today, I'm feeling nobody, then the whole ego melts away. And I'm sure it's going to protest at that. But today, this is what it is. Egoless. And I can't say, is it pleasant or not pleasant? Those are irrelevant words. I can't say that's what I want to say. This is a state where more and more of us are in, we find ourselves in, we're going towards, if we want it or not. Because of all the heightened energy, because of the ascension we're all in. It's so interesting. The moment I'm leaving that thought. I don't know anymore. All I'm here to do is to show up and just be here. And any thought, I'm trying to teach something. You see, I'm trying to make a relevance of it. My mind is just absent-minded, leaves it there. So yeah. Being in the state of nothingness. So being so close to my higher self. So close, yes, that's so correct. So close to my essence, whatever you call it. Your soul. Being one with it. That the body disappears as I'm sitting here, you're looking at it, but as functioning. That's not true because my body's still functioning as an energy, as an, how do I call it? As an operating system. It operates by itself, so the human doesn't die, but my awareness, that's what it is, of course. My awareness is no longer operating from there, at least today. I don't know how tomorrow's going to look. So how do I think that's what I want to address. How do I do life then? How do I do life when I'm just following? When I'm just like, okay, but this is it. If I'm not nothing today, then I can't push anything, even if I want to. There's no energy for that. There's nothing in me. There's no awareness. There's no consciousness. There's nothing in me that wants to push anything. So me then sitting here recording this with the idea, I don't know. Let's just be in the nothingness of it. So more and more, maybe if you followed me a bit, I'm following that. I want to be one with my higher self. I want to be one with my essence. I want my human to, not to dissolve in that sense, but my ego to dissolve. Yes, my ego to dissolve with my highest being, my pure potential. And that's what's happening right now. And where that leads to, it's such an irrelevant question. I ask it because I think that's the logic thing to ask, but it's not relevant. But what I notice, and you notice probably as well if you're still here with me rambling, how do you do life when this is how life is going? How do you do life? Look, my Mondays are my days I don't plan anything because I often do something with YouTube, or my Mondays I always keep free. So, hey, that's easier. I keep a lot of time free for myself. So I have the luxury, then you could say, to be that. So how do you do that, to push that? If you need to do something, I don't know, honestly. All I know is that I do a video every Monday, and here I'm sitting on Monday recording this in the state that I'm in. So maybe that's your answer. This is the state I'm in. So this is how I show up today. I don't make it any more beautiful, or I don't make up something that will be like, ooh, that's important, which I never do, by the way. But normally there's a hint. I go sit in my chair, I have a hint, I have a feeling, I'm just getting silent, and something comes, and then I sit down here and record. And sometimes I just switch it on and see what happens. Today there's just this. I could channel a bit of information, but that doesn't feel, it's too much. It's too much. Because all it wants, me, all me, not just be my human, but all my essence ones, my higher self ones, is to be just with this. And I'm getting emotional when I say that I cried a lot today already, for I have no clue why. It just feels so beautiful, maybe because I'm so close. I'm so one with it. I don't feel it's one. That's why I keep saying it's close. I'm almost one with it. And it feels so beautiful. So how to do life then? And that's what I'm been working on the last 2 weeks, and I put it out next week. I just want to start a group, a tribe of people, starseed, light workers, whatever you identify with or know that you are. How do we do life like this? How do we do life being our light, shining our light? How do we do these things? So this is one thing. I just show up as I am. But there's still a lot not to figure out from here, but and that's why I feel let's get it together. Because this new way of operating is absolutely different than how we operated before. You agree? Before it was so easy. We've done it our whole life. Just get an idea, or you get an idea, an impulse from somewhere else, or you think, oh, that person is successful or does something, or I'm inspired by that person, or that person is a lawyer, and I thought, oh, I also wanted to be a lawyer. Not me, but I'm just saying. And there's always something that inspires you, or someone told you that is a smart move, and then you go with it. You follow it. And you're not every moment inspired. No, there was an inspiration, and then you push yourself to there. Yes, my clock is 222. Thank you. For me, the confirmation, like, yeah, that's what we need to talk about. Or maybe we don't need to talk at all, but yesterday someone asked me about it. What is then so different? And I find it so difficult to put words to it. Maybe you're better at putting words at it, because especially in this state of being nobody, there's very little words. And now I try to think of how to describe it, but anything where my mind is involved is not that. That's simple. What? But we use our mind to go through life. Yeah, but not in a new way. I will use my mind when I write something because I need language. I use part of my brain, I'm sure, of course, to talk to you. But not when it comes and it's beyond inspiration. Or maybe it's not, but I feel it's beyond inspiration. Inspiration is still me translating. I love this one. Inspiration is still me translating, the human translating what my higher self is whispering in my ear. And that is then my inspiration. Where I'm now in the state of nothing, no thing, I am already that. I don't have to listen to a whisper. I don't have to translate. There's nothing to translate from here. Today I had 5 days with a city trip, friends, and way more lower vibrations. So today my system wants to rest and just read a book and do nothing. But my mind is like, but you had 5 days off. Should you do something? And nothing in me wants to do something. There is very little impulse. So I want to honor that. So I was like, okay, what about this YouTube then? Let's not do it. And then there was something within me that felt like, woo. But don't you feel the state that you're in? Let's share that. Like, what do I talk about? Well, we're 15 minutes in, and here I'm sitting, talking to you. So what I want to gather a group of people that figure this out, not by thinking, but by having conversations, deep conversations. Not just this happened yesterday. Well, if it's relevant, yes, but a group of people to have deeper conversations about this, to learn from each other, right? And maybe some channeling there, and or some energy work, but not really. It is about living in that state of our essence. And then how do you do life from there? Or how do you be it and then live from there? And maybe it's so simple that you're like, but just do it. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just doing it. But isn't it fun to do that together? I feel it will be enormous, beneficial, and a lot of fun to do that together. So I'm creating, it's not out there yet when you hear this, probably, or maybe it's from the 1st of November or the first week of November. I'm starting a, what do I call it? Light living, a tribe of truth. I'll talk a bit more about it next week. But really a space, and I will be leading the space. I love someone who has the overview. Let that be me. And let's come together almost weekly on Zoom to go deeper into this, to share our knowledge, our wisdom, to share our questions, to discover things together. And maybe sometimes, yes, I channel something or someone else. Or maybe, I love to do this remembrance, this guided remembrance lately. Just short, you could call it a guided meditation, but it's not. It's bringing you back. Remember your truth. Remember your essence. Taking you there. I don't know. It's not planned. I have ideas, but let's see what will sprout from that when we actually get together. So I'm putting it all in writing and feeling. So it takes time. Normally I could do it in a day. There's the idea, I put it out, and let's go. Now, I really want to feel what feels right. I don't want to come from anything my mind is in between thinking what is tactical, what is smart, which form to shape it. I want everything to really come from within. So that's how I'm creating, and that's why it takes a bit of time. I have so much more ideas with that. I'm going to pull people in that will come there as well and share things with you. It's going to be really a space for us together. And there's many spaces. There's many tribes. There's many groups. The difference I feel here is it's a new way of living. Please do that together. Let's figure that out together. And no one needs to know it all, right? We all have bits and pieces of the puzzle. And be there really in presence. Really be there in our truth. Really be there naked, basically. We don't come there with egos. No space for it. We don't come there with all our traumas and our disasters and you might have them. But that will not be at the forefront. That's not what you're invited to talk about. That's not what you're invited to share. What you're invited to share is you being your essence, you falling back into that. And that might be moments of your day, that might be a meditation, that's something you felt because you did a remembrance audio of me, or whatever you did. So you know what it means, what I'm talking about. We don't learn anything, there's no learning. It is being in a space where we know what it means to be our essence, where we know what it means to be so connected. But maybe what we don't know so well yet, because that's absolutely new, to live from there. So be that 24/7. We don't just want to be that when we meditate. We want to, and this is not about meditation either. It's not about learning something. It's about expanding together. It's about grounding ourselves more, embodying ourselves, our higher selves, our soul, or the embodiment of it. So we do life from there. So that's why I like to call it light living. It's light, it's easy, but it's mostly also living our light, right? Our light, that's why we came here, to shine our light. And not just by you having all your issues and you have managed, I've been there, you have managed to be in a higher frequency, and from there you support others while there's still a lot of darkness in your system. No. You want to be the light. Everything within your system wants to be light. And then you don't have to do so much. It's just beaming out. So let's be more of that together. It's much easier to be in that state together. And then that's the whole focus. Light, living, right? Living it. Bringing it into your life. Not in a way that it drains your energy, because that's not light. And I don't mean there's no space for shadows. Oh, they will come up. For sure. Your ego is like, what the... you're doing there? Come back to the old. So the more we step in our light, the more we start to shine, the more that old stuff that still wants to come up is coming up, which is great. So let it move through you. So maybe we do a little moments that we focus on that. Okay, whatever was still old and stuff, let's do that together and clear it up. There's this quantum healing and all that. It's easy. But you don't come there for healing. Although we might do part of it, and there might be things coming up, and that is absolutely wonderful, because we want things to come up so it can move through us. I guess we might focus on that sometimes to make that easier for you. But it's mostly, and be aware, about your light. It's about your light. So that's what we focus on, your light. Bringing more of that into your life. And then to others. It's really first you, so that you're full of energy, and whatever you give is then coming from a place full of light, a lot of energy. So you don't have to work at it to be in this high frequency, high vibration, but it's really that absolute embodiment of it. And that's what I've been doing, and that's what I feel this space today of. I'm no longer that body, and maybe tomorrow's different, I don't know. More and more I feel my body is absorbing into all that I am, that essence, right? And I like, but I don't know how that will evolve, these videos here to be more about that, living our light. How to do that, how to create from there, how to be in that state and still do life. And partly because bills still have to be paid. How do you do that in this new time and energy? You want going back to pushing? I don't think so. You allowing even more? I do think so. But that's easy said. And sometimes easier said than done, right? Yeah. So give me a few more days and I'll put that out there so we can really gather and see what it brings us. For sure, a lot of light. For sure, a lot of light. I feel that's enough for today. Much love. Beautiful to connect. I feel you. You're here. Much love. You're so... No, you're not. I didn't want to... I want to say you're so loved, but actually what I feel, you're so much love. You're such love. You're so much love. And yes, you're loved as well, of course, but you are the love. You feel it? Yes, and for me, much love. And I see you next week again. Bye-bye.